I've been living in my SUV for 4 months. Can you see? It is chicken and red onion and hummus and feta and tomato. 4 months was always the plan, and I only had a couple items left on my bucket list. One of them being a visit to Denali National Park, 6.1 million acres surrounding North America's tallest peak. Barring a few exceptions, there are no public vehicles allowed on the single road that stretches through the park. They use retired school buses to tour us around, hoping to catch sights of the Big Five: a grizzly bear, moose, Dall sheep, caribou, and wolf.
Everybody wants to hike up to where the road is no longer.
No one else has really come up that road, and I'm not sure how many people will. I'm like the furthest into the park than anyone else right now.
We'll stop at our rest stop one more time. It's about 40 minutes away.
My final stop and item on the bucket list was to be in Tombstone Territorial Park. I hoped to camp overnight at Grizzly Lake, but never got around to booking the campsite, so this just meant I'd have to hike the iconic 24-kilometer trail in one day. Good morning, afternoon-ish. It's 11:45, it's starting to rain, but I'm hiking to Grizzly Lake in a day. It's definitely not the craziest thing to do, but it is a 9-hour hike, and I am doing it alone, and I think it's the longest I've hiked alone in a day. Right now, I'm feeling very good and excited for all the snacks I brought.
Do we say cameras in Canada?
Yeah.
We're going to the lake, yeah?
Yeah, of
This
course.
is the spirit. Go to the lake.
While I thought I'd be doing it alone, early on I had made a friend, a fellow solo traveler living in a van. My plan was to sleep in the trailhead parking lot after the hike, but Roy invited me to the nearby campsite he'd found. I was honestly hesitant, used to being on my own as a solo traveler and kind of scared to follow a stranger into the mountains, but this was exactly the sense of community I had been searching for these entire past 4 months. Oddly, a helicopter landed in our campsite the next morning, but that's besides the point. I had watched as Roy pulled out camping chairs, an awning, a guitar, and set it up like this was going to be his home for the week. He didn't have a ton of space with his raised bed platform inside, so it was a pretty normal routine for him. And it made me realize how rarely I put in this effort for myself to get comfortable at camp, to make a temporary home. Maybe it was out of fear of being seen alone as a solo traveler. Maybe it was laziness when I thought I'd only be there for one night. But when I did put in these efforts, and when I did experience sitting out in the morning by a river in a comfy chair, I loved it. This trip taught me that it's not about a bucket list at all. These simple moments are what made my trip special, beyond the bucket list items and quintessential tourist experiences. With that, I almost didn't stop at the signpost forest as I drove out of the Yukon, thinking it would be another cheesy tourist stop. But this one actually turned out to be more special than I expected. Seeing the signs left behind, tokens of hundreds of other travelers from all over the world who had shared this same adventure with me. I had carried around my old license plate in this camper all the way from home with this exact purpose in mind, leaving behind my own little token and marking the end of another incredible chapter in my life.